1960, the Beatles came from Liverpool, not only to Hamburg, they came to Hamburg St. Pauli. It's the district where we live in. And my mother at that time was 17 years old, and at the time she was like 18, like 1961. Her big brother, Klaus, took her to more than a handful of Beatles shows in St. Pauli, because the Beatles played their 281 shows in the first 3 years, started their career there. So I have all these stories of my mother, and sometimes she tells me, son, I'm sorry, I can't tell you all the stories. I'm like, oh God, okay, the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. And I think it's a beautiful connection, because without the Beatles, rock music wouldn't sound like it sounds today. Rock and roll, beat music, and then rock music and everything. So we bring, we don't want to overrate this, we don't want to take ourselves too seriously, but we have the chance to bring a tiny piece of rock and roll back to Liverpool right here at that very moment, and that was beautiful.
Are you guys having a favorite Beatles song? You need to pick one each. One. P.
I think for me it would be Helter Skelter, because this song is one of the heaviest songs ever. It's almost, I'm a kid from the metalcore scene, right? So it's super halftime, exactly. It's super halftime, and it's like foreshadowing what was going to happen, but even better. Oh, who are you, baby? Hi.
We don't want to steal the show.
What is your favorite Beatles song?
My favorite Beatles song is any song that you're about to sing. But I heard metalcore, and I just wanted to take a quick opportunity to say, hey guys. We're Voyager from Australia, and I don't want to crash the show, but I think this is a glorious year for heavy music at Eurovision. Like, honestly, I can't think. What's that?
Play Helter Skelter!
Helter Skelter! We're at Eurovision!
Skelter! Helter Skelter! Come on!
Who wore it better? Anyway, guys, more to the lost, everyone. Heavy music this year at Eurovision. It's gonna be big!
Promise everything will be alright. Oh, yeah! Australia Voyager! Thank you very much. Okay, we were talking about favorite Beatles songs. Sorry for stealing the show. The next one.
Helter Skelter, we got it here. We got Klaas on the back.
I'm not sure if it's Beatles, but Imagine from John Lennon. Does it count?
No! Yes!
No! It just matters so much to me. So that's why I'm sorry.
For whatever reason, I've got Penny Lane stuck in my head from this early morning on. I don't know why, but other than that, yeah. But is Michelle the Beatles, or is it just Paul McCartney? Okay, that's Beatles. Then actually, like all over, it's Michelle, because it's just hauntingly beautiful.
Unfortunately, I have to go with P, so I
have to go to P too.
I have to go to P. I'm totally with P. Helter Skelter, absolutely for me.
No, the thing is, I discovered the Beatles through the vinyl single collection of my parents, because it was exactly that generation. And as Jared said, because there was this one greenish kind of single with that song, Michel, ma belle, sont les mots qui vont très bien ensemble. I was like, oh, that's not English, but I love it. And so it's Michel, and also, the fascination about it, I understood later when I started studying audio stuff. It's Strawberry Fields Forever, because there's so many things going on production-wise, and I was a kid, it was like, what's happening there? All these sounds, and the Beatles were pioneers also in music production, especially John Lennon, with trying out so many things at Abbey Road, things that really changed the core of audio production. So I think I have to go with Strawberry Fields and Michelle.
I'm a romantic boy. I go for the long and winding road. Go on. Chris, but you said something before, which I think is very interesting. Your mother had something going on with the Beatles, or what was the story? Your mother?
Yeah. She loved to listen to them. There was, yeah. No, she doesn't. She doesn't tell me. She was just like, yeah. And then I remember in the very early days, the Beatles sometimes they slept in this church there on the Große Freiheit Street in St. Pauli. And we were with them like the whole night. It was like, So she's not opening up about that. I need to respect that. It's my mother. Come on.
Fair enough. Guys, very busy week, very busy month. What happens afterwards? So that's actually an interesting question. What happens afterwards on Monday, Tuesday, next week, the next month?
Yeah, well, we are taking our very light luggage of 0 points into our baggage. No, you're not happy about that? I like that. Yeah. So that's I was 12, 24th. There's so many. What the fuck? No, it's actually we stay busy, so we don't really have time to calm down because we go back to Hamburg. Then we have 2 festivals at the end of May and in early June. We're going to Denmark, Sweden, Finland, and in Finland we play the first show with Iron Maiden, and then we go, I don't know, through Europe, somewhere, France, Hellfest, big metal festival. Then we go straight up to Dublin, play with Iron Maiden again, then play the whole UK with Iron Maiden, and then, I don't know, 20 more festivals, then it's mid-August, and then we can finally sleep. Oh yeah, fuck, and then in September, of course, we come back for our own UK headliner tour. Oh, yeah. Which is nearly sold out, by the way, just saying.
We saw already Australia on the stage. Very cool, guys. I think he's even half German, isn't he? Is he half German?
Yeah.
Half German? Very nice. Are there any other artists you really appreciate, you really love, you really want to be on stage with?
I mean, let me... Babe.
I gotta say, completely in our spirit, which fits to this year's spirit of the ESC, which is United by Music. You should pay appreciation to everyone that is here, because you can be sure that everyone that is here that is competing, I don't want to see it, or we don't see it as a competition, because there aren't really losers. Not at all. You're surrounded by beautiful people. You get to be on a stage that is probably the biggest music stage on earth, with I don't know how many million viewers, 200 million or something. And you can be sure
it's like 1,000,000 times that.
That's a big room. And everybody that is here, you can be sure that they've worked their asses off to be here, and they are right now working their asses off. And whether you like their songs or not, they deserve every ounce of appreciation and respect. So whoever gets more 12 points than this room said, they deserve it.
I mean, 200, or let's say 300 today, 200 million on Saturday. You've just toured South America. You go on a big tour all year long, so you see a lot. What interests me a lot is What do you guys enjoy the most? Not if it's a big stage or small stage. What do you enjoy the most? Seeing different countries, seeing different people, seeing different cultures? Or what's the point? What's the thing?
I think for me, what I enjoy most about music is the moment when you feel that you actually touch someone's lives in a positive way, that you can help people, and when you see someone in the crowd starting to cry, and because it feels so good, and you feel so relieved, and you feel understood and helped, and that's always like the best compliment when someone comes up to me and says me like, "Hey, you saved my life," maybe, or "This music saved my life." And I mean, compliments are nice. If someone says, "Yeah, you look so hot," whatever, it's nice, thank you. But in the end, that does not count. If I feel that I can touch someone's heart, well, that's the most important for me. So.
I second that, and also, it's not only the people we're touching in an emotional way, or wherever you want to, consensual, chill. But what? Yeah. But it's also, you get something back, probably way more. It's not a one-way street. It's a lot. It's a big safe haven for us as well.
I don't know. The good thing of what you said is like everything together makes the bigger picture. To play a small stage, to see every individual, to play a big stage, to see masses of people, and to be in other countries, so we don't have to stay at home all the time. We are going to meet new people everywhere, and people are at some point all the same but very different. If you're in Liverpool, if you're in Sao Paulo, Brazil, wherever you go, we learn to meet people, and the more people and cities and places we see, I feel like the better human we become, because we see a world. We don't see our garden that we have to defend. We see a world, a society that we have to protect, that we have to spread good feelings, good love, and I think this is...
That's a good point. That's the point, actually.
This is the most important thing, to just have a good time and then to step over and see like what can we do to improve society. And
thank you.
Anybody have a tissue for this man? No, but seriously, I think also, besides all the emotional connection that we have from stage to basically to all you guys down there, no matter how big or how small the venue, what unifies us in these very moments, wherever we are, on which continent, which country, whatever, and we maybe don't share a proper language, we still share the language of music, which in this very moment unifies us. So I think this is the next important kind of thing, besides all the emotional connection that is, of course, crucial.
And I think the most important thing for us is that we have the huge privilege that we can do what we love. Because I mean, it's a job, of course, and it's awful. It's not awful. It's stressful. It's also stressful. I want to say, pardon my French, but there's this huge privilege that we are able and that we are allowed to do this, because all over the world there are so many people who are not able to do this, and I think that's the biggest thing I can be thankful for. Thank you.
And I need to add one more thing, because we know so many different bands and artists, and many of them have internal struggles. They don't sit well with each other. There's problems that they miss how to communicate. They break apart, and I think you know, you must not forget, we are not, of course we are a company, we are a band, but most of all, what we do, we're 5 friends. And this is what keeps us strong, and wherever we are, when we feel lonely, we are never lonely, because we're always together as friends. And I think this is, besides what I said earlier, the most important for me. When I'm away from home, I'm still with my friends.
Perfect. I think we can't say it better. Guys, thank you very much for coming along. Appreciate it. Give a big applause to you. And give a big applause for Lord of the Lost, Germany, 12 points. Thank you, guys. Picture time, picture time, picture time.